Okay, now I'm going to show my current book collection in HD. I believe some of these books I did accumulate over time and did some videos on them. I know I've done a video on this particular Bob Dylan scrapbook, so I'm not going to be going through it. This is the Bob Dylan scrapbook, 1956 to 1966. It also contains a CD of, I think, music or an interview or both. I've already done a full review on this, so I won't be going through it. There is some stuff missing that's in this pile of stuff here on the back of the hard cover. I forget what I paid for this, but it was a pretty good deal, pretty interesting read. I've never fully read it all the way through. Here's a close-up. Pretty cool, though. When I was really into Bob Dylan, I'll still pull out a CD of his and play it from time to time, play his best of or something, but that's pretty cool. And you also have some information here on the Bob Dylan scrapbook is a companion volume to the No Direction Home Bob Dylan. A Martin Scorsese picture, No Direction Home, is sponsored in part by Apple, so that's pretty cool. And that's a really interesting documentary. I meant to get that a while back, and I think I probably will get it somehow through iTunes or just buy it. Some of these books I haven't shown in a collection video because I have picked up some of these at airports and bookstores, but we'll just show the actual novels first, since some of these are new to my collection. I did start reading J.R.R. Tolkien's The Twin Towers. My dad has all three books in one, so I'll be sitting down to read that. But this is the second book in the series of books, and obviously this has come out around the time of the actual films because it has Frodo and Sam on the front and some pictures of the other characters on the back. But really good book. I mean, if you're into Lord of the Rings, the movies, or the cartoon from the 70s or whatever, I think it was just a cartoon movie, I think. And if you're just into this story in general, it's a great read. Either way. And the movies are phenomenal as well. Let's get into one of my favorite authors. This book I've had for a long time. It's actually got strangely enough, some water damage. I have no idea how that happened, but it unfortunately has. But that's okay. I'm sure the book itself is in pretty good shape. That's okay. But here's Stephen King's The Shining. I believe I bought this back in 2007 maybe, or 2006, maybe even earlier. But it's just a regular copy of The Shining. Everybody knows this story by now. It's by Stephen King. There's a TV adaptation of the movie. So it's not quite as, I think, it's still intense. I think that's actually a little bit more chilling, the TV version of The Shining, which came out, I think, back in maybe 97, I want to say, but I haven't seen it in a long time, since I was in school. So if you don't know about The Shining, I suggest you look it up. Another Stephen King novel here is The Dark Tower, and I will have to split this video up into parts, so I just want to say that right now. This is The Dark Tower, The Gunslinger. Pretty good book. It's about a cowboy. He's okay. Gunslinger. It's a cowboy tale. It's really a dark book as usual. I mean, all of Stephen King's novels are pretty dark, to my best of my knowledge. Maybe he made a few that were maybe a little bit lighter, but I'll scroll the synopsis here on the back, and then you can pause it if you want. Hopefully this thing will focus just fine. So I'll kind of run through it a little bit. Let's get a little bit closer. There we are. Hopefully that's all in the frame. And there's that, and you can pause it if you want. But really interesting read. I haven't read all the way through it yet. Here's another older book that I've read a little bit. This will have too many books that I haven't read, and I don't want my book collection to get to where my video game collection is. So, but here's Marianne Tyrone Smith's She's Not There. Very interesting murder mystery novel that I bought just at a grocery store after reading the back of it, it's going to be let's read the synopsis. An FBI agent, Poppy Rice, has seen plenty of murder victims in her time, but the site she stumbles upon during her vacation on a peaceful Block Island is different. It's a naked young girl, so it's a murder mystery about a young woman. It's talking about a supposed overdose, and she's just a murder mystery investigation book. So very, very interesting. I suspect this video will be 3 or 4 parts, but read some more of that and just enjoy it. Put all these books up here. Here's a recent addition to my collection. Bought this at the library, the city library. Mission Impossible, a novel by Peter Barsacchini. That's a Barsacchini. Story by David Coep. A great film. The first 2 films are my favorite in the series, and it's a very gripping and interesting book. It starts off with a bang. It's very, very interesting. It's obviously about a CIA agent going in and stealing information or whatnot. I don't know if this synopsis will show up very good on camera. It's the lettering's a little small and it's a little blurry or very light on the camera, but it's pretty clear in person. But really interesting read, and you can probably get this version of the book really cheap now. Take these stickers off for a show. Won't come off with ease, which sucks. Okay, well, we'll have to leave it on there. But here is Doom, Maelstrom, a novel by Matthew Costello. This is book 2, so hopefully this is just book 2 in the actual series, based on Doom 3 from id Software. It's kind of like a spin-off of the actual Doom games. The first book I think takes off, or takes from the first game and second game, I believe. But got this on a whim. I read some reviews on it, and they looked really good. A lot of people had good things to say about it. So, very cool book. From what I've heard, I haven't read too much of it. We got this one on clearance. This is Star Wars: Assault at Salonia by Roger McBride Allen. This is a spin-off of the actual movies. There's a whole slew of these kinds of books, but from what I hear, they're really, really good, and I've actually started reading some of it. You can see the bookmarks on these. I've used band-aids from various jobs or whatever, but really cool book. Imprisoned on planet Corellia, Han Solo finds himself at the mercy of his evil cousin, Thrax Solo. Really, really cool, well-written book, in my opinion. It's a very thrilling read. It's very similar to the movies in the fact that there's a lot of action in it, and it really helps you paint a picture of what's going on in your mind. You can kind of envision it. At least I can. So if you're into Star Wars, I recommend these books if you're actually interested in reading like a spin-off of the Star Wars, though. I don't know if there are actual books on the movies, though. If there's books that have come out based on the movies. I have to cut to another part here pretty soon. Bob Dylan's Chronicles, Volume 1. This just kind of chronicles his career, his life. Very interesting. Cool picture of New York there. Reminds me of Modern Times, the cover of Modern Times by Bob Dylan. But very interesting read. I'm halfway through this book right now. So, yeah, probably end up reading some of these in the future. That way I can get them out of the way. Hurrying up along here. Here's Nirvana's Come As You Are by Michael Azerrad. I'm getting a little too fast for myself. But this is an updated version of the book. It's just a biography on the band, just how they got started, black and white pictures. Pretty wide, well-known pictures. Some that are in color, some that have never been seen before, some that are just rare. It's a very interesting read on the band, and Michael Azerrad actually interviewed Kurt Cobain on the phone, and there's a movie of those phone interviews with the audio and pictures of Seattle and whatnot, camera footage with Kurt Cobain. Him and Michael did interviews, so gonna have to cut to part 2 here. So thank you for watching part 1. Stay tuned for part 2.